If you have been on the expat side of social media lately, you've probably seen people talking about immigration changes in Spain. And especially one major topic, the new mass regularization process. It's been getting a lot of attention. But what does it actually mean? Who really qualifies? And is this truly the opportunity many people are hoping for? Well, with so much information circulating online, it's normal to feel unsure about what's accurate and what's just a speculation. Hello everyone, my name is Sabine, immigration specialist here at Bureaucracy Spain. And today I'm joined by an immigration lawyer and a legal partner, Douâa El Amrani, who is here to help us to clarify everything. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We share weekly content about Spanish immigration process, legal updates, residency pathways, and also what it really looks like to be living here in Spain. Dua, thank you very much for being here today and joining me. It is a pleasure. To start, you could please briefly introduce yourself to our audience, and then we can dive into this mass regularization process that is being really the focus point in the last weeks of many people, and why is actually generating so much attention right now.
Thank you, Sabine. I'm very happy to be here. For those who don't know me, I am Dua. I'm a lawyer specialized in immigration and civil law, including Spanish citizenship. I work mainly with residence permits, asylum cases, and regularization procedures, helping migrants obtain legal stability in Spain. So, regarding the mass regularization process, it comes from a political agreement reached in January 2026, and it's expected to be approved through a royal decree around April, hopefully. This decree will create a special legal pathway for people who are already living in Spain, but they don't have the legal residence permit, or they have a status they want to change as asylum, allowing them to live and work here legally in Spain. So, the goal for this royal decree that will hopefully be approved in April is to reduce vulnerability and exploitation, bring more people into the formal economy, and strengthen social cohesion. Spain has carried out before similar procedures, especially in 2005, but it's true that what makes this one different is its scale. Up to 500,000 people could benefit. And the urgency of the current social and economic context coming from the pandemic makes this very important to obtain as soon as possible.
Wow, well, that's really helpful context. Well, we have so many questions coming in regards this specific process going on. So I would like to discuss with you some of these questions. And basically, the biggest one, well, who actually qualifies for this legalization?
Sure. So the royal decree right now, as it's written right now, because this can change in the future, okay? So we have to be careful with this and with all this information we give. But right now, if anything changed, creates two situations. One general pathway and the other one thought for asylum seekers. So for the general pathway, to qualify, the person must have entered Spain before December 31st, 2025. They must also prove at least 5 months of continuous residence in Spain before applying, and they must prove one of the following conditions. First, they have work in Spain or have a valid job offer. Second, they live with close family members in Spain, like basically minor children who are in school or parents. And third, they are in a situation of vulnerability. In practice, this third option includes all the people who are not in a legal status in Spain. So the other two options would not be necessary if you are in a non-legal status right now in Spain. The second pathway is for asylum seekers, and basically they are requesting that the asylum application must have been submitted before December 31st, 2025, and they must still be living in Spain, of course. And finally, in both cases, there is one essential requirement, which is not having criminal recourse. We need to have a clear record in Spain, and of course in your original country. Thank you.
Oh, okay, okay. It's important. So we need to have the Spanish clean criminal record and, of course, the home country's clean criminal record as well. That's very important detail to know. Then the second most asked question, well, you already mentioned that these people either have to be in work already or have a job offer. So the big concern here was, does this legalization will provide this work authorization? So if someone applies, will they be allowed to work right away?
Yes, that's one of the strongest things that will bring this new regularization. So once you're approved, you will get a 1 year residency and work permit in Spain. But what is more important, once you apply for this kind of residency, after 15 days more or less, they should admit it. And if they admit it, you will be able to work. And so you will have a provisional work permit. You don't need to wait until the final approval of your residence. And this makes a big change compared to other authorization we have right now.
Okay, wow, that's great. And then what about the families of these applicants? So if someone has children, they also need to apply independently. How is this working? Is the family also benefit of this process?
So when we are talking about family, we have to focus in this case in the children because they are the ones that are literally announced and foreseen in these new regularizations. So if you have kids and they live with you here in Spain, you will be able to submit at the same time as your residency permit an application for an authorization of residence for them, and it will give them a 5 years residency permit. So this is very, very positive for all the children and to give them this legal stability here in Spain.
Okay, great. And then what about the timing? As visa consultants and the ones who manage these visas, we know that time is critical here. So what about this process? How the timing, how we should consider time here?
We only have a 3 months time frame. This is what initially they are informing us about. So the thing is, when the royal decree will be approved in April, we will have until 30th June 2026 to apply for this kind of regularization process. So it is very, very important to take into account that, and as soon as the law is approved, to start filing the applications.
Okay, so that means that now would be the ideal moment to actually start obtaining all the documentation necessary to then, in that specific time frame, submitting those applications, correct?
So the reality is we don't have the legal document that states that we will have this regularization because it has not been approved. We cannot start telling, hey, we are starting the process. But it's true that it's an investment. So for all my clients, all the people I meet, this opportunity is really huge. So compared to the rest of the situation and the authorization, it's worth to spend time and invest in gathering these documents right now because in April it will start and you won't have the time to start at that point gathering some documents like your criminal records, for example. So yeah, my advice as an investment is to start collecting those documents as soon as possible, at least the basic ones, and then the ones we know that we will be requested to.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dua. This was very, very valuable information, and I am sure that many people watching, these questions will be answered for them, and these concerns will be cleared as well, hopefully. And I assume you already are starting to work on some of these. As you mentioned, it's not approved yet, but people are prepared because this is a hope, right?
Yeah, a big hope for all of us.
Well, thank you for your time, Dua. This mass regularization process could truly change the future of so many people right now being in Spain. But the requirements are definitely strict and the application window is limited, as you said. So we encourage people to be prepared and to invest their time in these requirements. Don't forget to check our previous videos for more guidance in building your new life in Spain. If you have any specific questions, leave them in the comments below and we will try to give you more answers. And well, thank you for watching.